last Thursday. So last week we were looking at the breaking posture and the off balancing, and then on Thursday we briefly touched on the first vulnerability, which was the side scissor position. So we're just going to continue on with that. We'll look possibly at just a few variations of the grip breaks. So let's just take cards in my guard. So from our position, I mean, this is probably the most common grip that you're going to be dealing with. And we looked at last time how I'd make a cross collar grip, come underneath, and from that position, when I pull with my knees, I'm stripping this above my head to get into my side scissor position. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work on better people. It's very easy to close down, because the minute I make this initial grip and I come underneath, then Carl clamps my arm underneath. Now I'll give myself a hernia trying to break that initial grip. So we want to be thinking about then attacking this other arm, and it's going to be in a variety of different places, but another common grip is Carl wants to control my hip. Sometimes he'll do it on the belt. We'll just work on the pants grip this time, because sometimes the belt comes off. The pant grip will be more secure. If he's not wearing pants, I suggest not going looking. So from our position, we make the cross grip coming underneath. When Carl goes to close that down, I'm going to reach through and find the cross grip on the other secondary arm. From here, I'm going to hit it with my palm heel. But if I don't pull on the arm, I'll just hit this all day. Right? It's not going to happen. So the detail is, when I make the cross grip, it's like everything. When you want to break a grip, you put tension in the limb. So when I pull, you can see the gi tensing. From there, I put the palm of my hand over his knuckle line. I lift my hips, and then as I pull with my legs, I just push this through. The Carl wants to pull it back, and again, this can lead to, when he pulls back, I can come up and also we can go for off balances, but we'll stick to the system. John Danaher knows what he's doing. So the minute I get that, I get this 2-on-1 grip, and I make that grip on the seam. And now I'll use that knee pull that we looked at last week. So as I pull, and get his arm across the center line, because that's the vulnerability, I want to get his elbow past my belly button. Right, now I need to change an angle so I have angular advantage. So I like to straighten my legs and use the contact that I have with Carl's hips just to turn my hip out. We looked at also the best grip that I can make is this cross collar right here. And I'm finding this. This is a strong grip. This and here. And again, I'll probably be crossing my ankles. And again, another thing I'm doing is, which you didn't talk about last time, my legs just aren't loose. I'm pulling with my knees. So if Carl tries to get that elbow out from there, it's very difficult. I'm connected to him. And I have angle, which is a good thing. So last time we looked at coming up on the back, whereby now that I have this grip, I can physically arch my back, bring my elbow in line with my shoulder, and make my bottom leg light by physically climbing up. Now, last time we got on the back, but this time Carl's going to connect his right elbow to his right knee, and there's no space to come in. If that's the case, I don't take my hook in. See the way I've left it out? Nearly as if I was going for like a body triangle here. I've left it on the outside. Now notice I've came to my hand. Next variation, I won't be able to come to my hand if I look at that. So the hand that has the collar just finds the wrist. And now I put all my weight on Carl. So my head is over his head, and my weight's pinning his wrist to the mat. I'm going to sweep him to his right, onto his right hip. All Carl can do is base with his hand. So if I pin it to the mat, and now Danaher calls this a trick of leverage. I'm going to bring my right knee over his right shoulder, but what actually puts him onto this hip is the extension of my left knee towards his legs. It kind of looks like this. Danaher ends it there, but we're just going to add in a bow and arrow from here because it's a T-mount. So I'm going to open up the lapel. My left feeds the right. From that position, I'm going to find the pants. I don't sit back, I roll laterally onto my left hip, which allows me to bring my other foot, what's that, shoulder control, coming up, closing my guard. Now, it's called a bow and arrow because when you're shooting a bow and arrow, it's just a blister. So that again. So, from our position, Carl has made this initial double lapel grip on the primary arm, and he's made a pant grip on the secondary arm. So again, anytime I attack this, I mean this works if people don't really know how to close it down. I'm straight into the side scissor position. But if I feel, it's a good player and he's just going to close that down, I'm going to come underneath and grab the secondary arm. Okay, now he's made that grip. The detail was, I put tension in the arm by pulling it to take the slack out of the lapel. From there, I just put the palm of my heel in his knuckles. I lift my hips, and then I just punch this through and make a 2-on-1 grip, which is a very strong grip. Now, I'm not just pulling him to my side to get the elbow past the belly button, the center line. I'm pulling with my knees as I get angular advantage on the side. Now, I need to extend this arm, keep my angle, but now my right knee's over and I'm grabbing that lapel here. Okay. Once I have that and I have connection, now we can think about climbing up on the back. So, let go of this. I bring my elbow in line with my shoulder. Once I arch my back, it's a lot easier to come up now. I unweigh my bottom leg by extending my right leg, and this allows me to get head over head. You'll know straight away if he makes that connection. If he connects his right knee to his right elbow, I'm not getting on the back, so I'll leave my foot on the outside. Now it's all about pinning this wrist. Yeah. I put the weight in it, and my head's over his head. Then I bring my knee over the shoulder, and I just flare my left knee to my left, which opens up his hip and drops him onto that side. Now, open up the lapel, find the bow and arrow, never sitting back or across the center line. And just do that. Side row. So again, I'm attacking the secondary arm and make the cross grip. Now I want to break it. Tension first. With my hips. Pull, get this 2-on-1 grip, using my legs to pull and redirect to get that angle. Now I'm coming up and I'm making that grip. Okay. Once I have that grip, see why my sternum is connected to Carl's shoulder. Look how close I am. I'm whispering sweet nothings in his ear. So now I can let go of this grip. I arch my back and get my elbow in line with my shoulder. Unweigh the bottom leg, and I'm coming up. If I feel I can't get that hook in, because obviously the first route we're going to go down is what we covered on Thursday, getting on the back, I'm going to pin this wrist to the mat. Because if I try to tilt Carl onto the side and don't control this arm, Carl can actually base with his hand. Okay? So the detail is, I pin it. Now I'm not coming underneath, I'm coming over the top. It looks like quite a naive grip, but I put my weight here. Surprisingly easy when I bring my leg over his shoulder. It's quite easy to tilt him onto the side. Open the lapel, feet from my left to my right, sure sit, roll laterally. Good. Just drill that, guys.